All right, folks, welcome back to yet another episode of Fresh Juice, an indie game podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Tommy Fresh. Joined as always, it is
Matty. Juice, 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 juice,
Juice,
juice,
Juice,
juice,
Juice.
juice. I'm going to just keep saying that's the rest of the show.
Oh,
Um,
yeah.
what's up, everybody? Episode 125. We are now, what is this? Is this a milestone? 125? We hit
It can
100.
be.
Pretty much anything after 100 is like, until you hit 1,000. It's like, what's the point? I guess maybe 200.
200 feels good, 500. I think
Yeah.
hundreds are good. And then
Yeah.
years. Years is also like
Yeah.
a good.
Which I don't even know technically. When did we start this? In the summer of some year? I don't know.
met you in the summer. I don't know when. Jeez. It was like kind of summer, maybe fall.
Yeah. Let me see. I'm going to check right now. Place your bets. October 4th, 2023. There it is.
That's what I was going to bet,
Yep.
actually.
Look at that. so
So-
almost 3 years.
Crazy.
Mhm.
Pretty crazy. We got a great show for you all today. It is a game talk week. We're going to be just chatting about some games. I'm pretty sure most of our time has been committed to playing Slay the Spire 2 since last week still. But, there are some notable releases coming out. We got a juicy take for you all. And then some news as well as some listener questions. So, first, we do have to catch up. What's new? How's your week been?
Yeah.
What's going on?
Yeah. Well, last week, from a work standpoint, was not great because there were some layoffs at my job. Luckily, I wasn't affected, but some people I've known for years were, and so that sucked. Chatting with them, but it's kind of one of those things where it's like people kind of knew maybe it was coming at some point. They just didn't think it would be then. So yeah, it's just dealing with all that kind of stuff at my job. So like, I don't know. My day job has been what it is, but I've been having a lot of fun making content. So I actually made a video, and this is also something I did recently on Moonlighter 2. I was playing some more Moonlighter, hop back in there. Great game. Like it's just I
Oh, yeah.
just love playing that game. I think it's kind of hooked me more than the first game did. So I spent some time playing that, which was fun. And then let's see. We were gonna go. Obviously, like you were hanging out with some buddies of ours over the weekend on Saturday. We were gonna go there. There were complications with the baby's schedule, so we ended up just going and hanging out at the mall. Which related to that, it'll be my rec room later. So yeah, that was good. It was a good time. And then Sunday we did like a little early St. Paddy's Day dinner with the family, and that was good. Corned beef, delicious as always. It's just a treat, I love it. We also because my lady Juice's family is very Italian, we celebrate St. Joseph's Day, which we have for years, which is like something I didn't even know existed until I started dating her. But I'm not complaining because basically what it means is that we get to have a St. Paddy's Day dinner, and then for dessert we have these like huge pastries for St. Joseph's Day. So it kind of like rounds out the day. So that was good. Even though I've been trying not to have like added sugar with things, I was like, you know what? Those just look too good. Had some cannoli cream, gave the baby some cannoli cream for the first time. She
Ooh.
was locked into that for sure. I think that's the first time she's had like something like artificially sweet, kind of, or like that sweet. So she was really enjoying it. And then yeah, today I actually took off of work, spent the day. I was kind of on daddy duty, and went to the mall again. Just a good place to go with the baby, especially like today. There's like no one there. Yeah, went into some stores. Five Below, man, they just have like so many like SKUs, just to get a little technical with it. But like they had like 50 different Bluey things, like different like, and I'm like, that's just Bluey. Like they have all these different, partnerships or whatever Um, for the different brands, but I'm like, man, there's just so much in here. And there's a lot of stores now in the malls that are just like, I think there's like a pop figure store, like entirely
Mm-hmm.
dedicated to that. I'm like, that, what are we doing here? Like, you can afford rent. I just, it's
Yeah, yeah.
crazy to me that those places exist.
They got to be a front or
Yeah,
something.
and they're like still around, but I also we're looking at like Lovesack, the couches, not the big bean
Sure.
bags or whatever, but our couch is kind of, we've always not really been a huge fan of it, and it's kind of falling apart a little bit, so we're like, maybe we use a little tax return money towards a new couch, but we'll see. I don't know. They have sales all the time, so we might wait a little bit for that. But they have really cool couches. I love that they're modular. So we were checking those out. And then, I also got a new chair. Look at this. If you're watching on video,
Ooh,
I got the,
nice.
yeah, just because my old chair, which I still like, but it was from a flea market. It was like 20 bucks and it just hurting my back. Like, it's got like no lumbar support, but it's still a nice chair. So we got it in like another room right now, but I bought the Elgato Embrace, which is their new chair, which is now like on Amazon. And I like all my other Elgato products, so I was like, I might as well try the chair. And yeah, it's good. I like it. It's got so many different like things you can do to configure it exactly how you want it, which I really like. It's got this like headrest thing that I'm not really like used to yet. And then I feel it right in the lumbar right now. It feels good. But it definitely, after like years of using that other chair, it's like an adjustment. I don't know if you dealt with this because you got a new chair recently, but like
Mm-hmm.
I sometimes when I sit down, I'm like something's wrong, But then after like 10 minutes of sitting down, you're like, all right, this actually starting to feel pretty good. So that was good too. Got that over the weekend, and yeah, that was pretty much everything. I think I feel like there's one more thing related to the mall that I wanted to bring up. I don't know why, but there
Uh,
maybe something else.
the
Oh,
bourbon chicken
oh,
from still very good, or
the what chicken?
the bourbon chicken that they like Panda Bistro or
Oh yeah,
whatever,
or like
Panda
Little
Express
Tokyo
always.
free
Yeah,
sample. Yeah,
yeah,
my
yeah.
dad did tell me one time because I was at the mall with him. That that lady scared the hell out of him because he was like just waiting for my mom to come out of the bathroom, and like she came up behind him and was like free sample. Because they just yell it at you, and that's how they get your attention. But no. Oh, also we went into the Lego store. Man,
Oh,
freaking like I love Legos, and they have so many awesome Legos now. They have like the smart bricks, which are new, which like
yeah.
whatever they. I don't know if there's a subscription. I'm not really crazy about those, I guess, but I just want to say like whenever I think about Legos or go in a Lego store, I this is going to be a very niche thing I'm about to say that like maybe you'll understand and maybe some listeners,
Okay.
but I
All
always
right.
think of the clip in Community where there's a one of the teachers is like an ex inmate, former inmate, and he's like basically asking the kids, he's like, what happened to Legos when I was in there? Like they used to be so simple, and now, like, he's like, I'm not saying it's bad, but just like,
Yeah.
what happened with Legos? Like, that was like one of his first questions coming out. And I was like, I've always thought that where it's just like, I remember when Legos were a lot simpler. Like, I had friends, one friend in particular, his whole basement was like a Lego paradise. And I'm like, nowadays, I feel like if you had that, it would be like $10,000 worth of Legos. And I'm just like,
Easily.
yeah, and I'm like, what happened with Legos, right? I don't know. I mean, I still like Legos. I was actually thinking maybe I could try to 3D print some Legos and kind of get around
That'd
it
be
that way.
cool.
I don't know. But I don't know. I just want to open the floor to the Lego conversation because I feel like there's cool stuff, but then you look at the price tag and you're just like, why would I ever pay $600 for this? Like it's just
Yeah, it
I feel like we're a little lost, and the world will heal when
I
Legos
don't,
gets
no,
back to normal.
I don't think they're. I mean, that is the demand's still there, right?
Yeah.
Like some of those sets, the expensive ones, will sell out right away. I guess like when you look at it, like okay, maybe price per brick, you're like, okay, I could see I could see where it's kind of coming together there, but yeah, we will do Legos pretty often. We'll do like a date night where we'll pick up like one of the flower set Legos,
Mm-hmm.
and we'll just sit down and do that. It's usually like $60 or something like that.
Yeah.
It's a good date night kind of thing. But yeah, it is crazy. Lego, I mean, listen, they're a force to be reckoned with. Lego, the actual toy, Lego, like video games, Lego movies.
Yeah.
You know,
It's
they've
an
taken over the
empire.
world. It
Yeah.
sure is.
And like you gave me that like Spider-Man Lego thing,
Yeah.
right? And like that's like getting Legos as a gift is like the coolest thing, right? Because you're like, I
You're
didn't have
like,
to
I
pay
didn't have to
for it, and
pay
these
for
are
this.
awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
it's just I don't know. I look now at like anything in there, and even anything that really has my interest. As soon as I look at the price tag, I'm like, what? Like, why would I spend that much for something I'm
Hmm.
gonna build and just sit there? You know?
Yeah.
Anyway, so that's my juicy take. We're doing it early. No, but anyway, so how was your week? How was your weekend? How's everything going on your side?
Week was good. Well, I guess I have a car, or I had a car, and we had hit around 275,000 miles. I drive a lot for work, so I was really pushing this thing, but it kind of was getting to the point where it's like the old family dog that come on guys, we gotta maybe like, I know that we can like keep it alive, but look at them, it's like one of those things. So the
Just
battery
drove
had
it off a
died.
cliff. Is that what you said? Took it out in the
The
back.
battery died, and then I was like, okay, I'll buy a new battery, and then in 24 hours it drained that battery.
Mm,
So probably means the alternator was gone. I was like, okay, well, that means it's time to get
yeah,
a new car. So I went out, bought a new car. Same thing, except the most modern model, except now it's hybrid, which is nice. I got some nice, cool hybrid stuff going on. And when I brought, first of all, we had to jump the car again to like get it to the
yeah, to
get
the
it
dealership.
to the dealership. And Lady Fresh is in the car, and she's like mad at me. She's like, "You've been driving this thing." It's like making noises, and like I'm like, well, I was used to it, but now that you're pointing it out, I guess it's a little crazy. But get it down the hill there, and they were like, when I got it to the dealership, because I was trading it in, and they were like, "Do not turn it off when you get here. Just leave it running because they don't want to have to jump it again."
Yeah,
And I go in, and they come out. They're like, "Whoa!" It's like, "We'll give you $200." So I was like, "Sold.
yeah.
Take it." So now I got a new car. That's cool. Just out working a lot, and went to Red Bank with our friends on Saturday. Do some St. Patty's Day drinking. That was a lot of fun. Pounded some Guinnesses, and then I'm like working on installing a floor in this other room. So I was doing that yesterday. Now, all right, I gotta, I love St. Patrick's Day. It's a great holiday, right? I miss corned beef. I don't really eat beef anymore, but like, I'm happy everybody's out there enjoying it. And, you know, my wife is also making some pastries for St. Joseph's Day. Now,
Mm,
like you said, never heard of it, right? Until this is not even a hot take. This is just my, humble opinion. It's just not it doesn't exist. This is just like the Italian Americans are like, we want in. We want to do something in March.
yeah,
And they're like, they've just looked at the patron saints of whatever. They're like, boom, we'll take Joe.
yeah,
And they just rocked with it. Listen, I like pastries, so I'm not going to complain, but let's call a spade a spade. Trying to butt in on our month
yeah.
a little
No,
bit.
you know what? It's funny because we kind of talked about this yesterday. Because like, Lady Juice's family, was bringing up that they don't do this in Italy. It's like it is an Italian
Yeah.
American thing. And then I was like, yeah, I always wondered why there's usually only two types of custard, or like it's cannoli and like the Bavarian cream or whatever. And I picture like two guys arguing about the holiday, and they were like, "Well, just do both of them." And then I found out that there's like Italian bakeries that use a French cream. And I'm like, what are we doing here? Like, this is supposed to be an Italian holiday. We're putting French stuff in there. So I feel like that even further solidifies that they were just like, we just want to hijack part of that holiday right there.
Also, I think it's a very New York Italian thing.
Yeah.
Because
again,
not
complaining.
Not complaining,
but
talk to my friends who come from Philadelphia, Italian American, families. They're like, we've never even heard of this. So, I just, put it out there as like we order, like as Americans, we order pizza and pasta like 300 out of the 365 days of the year, right? We're not getting corned beef and cabbage every. No, I don't know. I'm just on.
Yeah.
You know what?
Another pie.
Yeah. I mean, I ordered a pizza when I got home from drinking for St. Patty's Day. Like, you're getting in there. You don't have to worry about it. But
how was it?
Anyway, the pizza?
Yeah,
it's good.
Yeah, you got good spots around the new crib.
Yeah, we actually a place that we used to go to.
Nice.
When we used to live over here, but it's good stuff. Yeah, we like it. So
we're better than everybody because we live in Jersey. We have the best pizza, right? Sorry, folks, but it's true. All right.
But we'll talk about
enjoy
video
your Dominoes.
Games. Yeah, enjoy your Dominoes. But this is one more side. Is usually when I get pizza, it always comes with extra coupons, and I always like that because this time I got a coupon that said that there is a Fresh Juice Discord and it's free for everybody to join. Please check it out.
I'm like, yeah, I've had the coupons. Yeah, that's good. Do you prepare these, or they just come to you?
No, they come to me like those coupons. So check it out. It's in the show notes below. But let's kick it off. Let's kick off the game section of this podcast with a juicy take. Now, ooh. I did one last week. You said you don't really have one this week.
It's not that juicy. So yeah,
okay. We can both give one.
Much time. Yeah. Well, you go first, and if I feel mine can't live up to yours, I won't say anything.
Okay, my juicy take is this is not even. I don't know how juicy of a take it is, but it might just be an observation. Mm-hmm. But I think the most common mistake in game dev across all video games, we'll limit it to that, is the idea of game design, right? Not like the idea of like, what do you want your game to do? Right? Sometimes that question is never answered, and you just kind of get this copy and paste version of a different genre that you've already played or whatever. I think I look at a game like Slay the Spire, which is, an excellent example of game design, and where they set out like, we want you to feel like you're going through a dungeon, but like, and that your cards feel like the thing that you're going to do, except we want you to play cards rather than, smash buttons and do that. So I think that is the number one reason some games, while on its face, you're like, looks good, sounds good, plays pretty decent, but there's something missing. I think it's usually like the core tenets of game design are missing from those games.
So, like, what would another example be? The Slay the Spire one, but like, are you thinking, just like, what would another example be of like well executed?
Well executed?
Yeah.
I mean, like, Balatro, obviously. Like, hey, I guess I should probably pick something that is not a deck builder to.
Yeah, or like anything that's like adjacent to it is fine too. But I'm just curious.
I think actually Celeste is a great example. I think so. Celeste is a game where it has these story elements, and through the story elements, clearly the developer wanted people to feel the uphill battle, the climb that like mental health can be, and execute it through the actual gameplay. So I think that's a great game design choice to like there is something about platforming that I don't think was ever explored until Celeste, that says this could be really hard, and that's like so like tough to do. Sometimes you want to give up, but like when you start hitting it, like when you start getting the platforming, it
Yeah.
feels so good, and you're like, I'm accomplishing something, and I think that tied into the story elements of Celeste. So,
Yeah, no, I think that's a good observation because like even thinking of a game like Haunty, right, where like the art
mm-hmm.
style so closely ties to like the story of the game, you know. And
Yeah,
like I agree, like there's sometimes there's games that don't like marry those two things, you know. Everything, it feels a little too separated, and it's just, you know, it can be not like jarring, but it just, yeah, it doesn't have the same feeling as like I think that's a good point with Celeste, is that like they took, even though I'll be honest, I haven't played Celeste. All right, I have it. I still need to play it. Maybe I'll play it on my Thor when I get it. But um, I think that, you know, like you mentioning the platforming is hard, so let's take that and turn it into like a mental health conversation, because dealing with
mm-hmm.
mental health is hard, right? So I like that. It's I feel like there's a lot of games that, or I guess I should say this reverse. There's very few games that do that that are bad, right? I feel
Yeah,
like,
mm-hmm.
you know, because maybe something else is not going right with the game. But I think that's a good observation, and something that like maybe would even change the way I look at games now, of like, why do I like this specifically? It's because maybe the sound is marrying so well with the art, or, you know, whatever it might be. Because there's definitely been games on here that we've reviewed where I'm like, I like a lot of things about this game, but yeah, it's missing something. Like, what is it
Mm-hmm.
missing? And I feel like that's it, right there. But yeah, it's a good point. And you know, you bringing up Slay the Spire. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, I
I
was
was going
just
to
gonna
shift a little bit, but
no, I was just gonna tie it back to my juicy take from last week about
yeah,
the survivor like genre, the
yeah,
survivors
yeah,
like genre, where there's so many survivors like genres that are like doing like the thing that Vampire Survivors did so well, but it doesn't feel like they're giving you like a desired experience that is new, or something that's like, why wouldn't I play Vampire Survivors instead, right? So like, I, not to say all these survivor likes are bad, but like, Mega Bonk is a great example. It was
yeah.
like, no, we want people to feel this experience that you get from Vampire Survivors, but we want to give it, new life through this new perspective. We think that that can be actually really beneficial. But
Yeah.
as you were saying about Slay the Spire.
Yeah, no, I think that's a good point. And you know, even I mean, even like thinking about like vampire crawlers, right? Where like they clearly have like they understand what worked well with vampire survivors, and they're trying to do it in like a different approach. I was just gonna mention with Slay the Spire, it's very interesting, and maybe this is like a separate kind of conversation, but like it's very interesting that it's so close to the first game. I think we kind of talked about this off the podcast, but it almost feels, and we did talk about this, I guess, last week too, but it feels like it's like a really great remaster almost of the first game with extra things thrown in. And I don't have any like problem with that, but it got me thinking of like how, you know, that might be what Call of Duty did, right? Back in the day when Call
Initially,
of Duty
yeah.
was new, right? There's 1 and 2 and 3, and then you just have so many of them where then people are demanding new features, or like just different approaches to the game. And it got me thinking, like, how long would it take for, let's say, Slay the Spire before people were like, all right, you guys got to change up the formula, right? It would be like
Mm-hmm.
Slay the Spire 4, right? Or something. Like, it just kind of got me thinking about that, because I'm like, why does it work so well for this game? But then I always hear complaints of these other games that have a ton, you know, they have a ton of iterations, and there's no, you know, there's no one saying, oh, I wish this was like Call of Duty 1. Like, I don't even think I've ever heard that before, right? So I don't know, just kind of it's very interesting. And also, obviously, I think because Slay the Spire had so much time in between, that It doesn't feel like it's super repetitive, because it's great. Like I'm having a great time playing it. But I don't know, it just kind of got me thinking about that. I'm like, wow, this is not that different than the first one, like at its core, and I don't mind that at all. But I feel like maybe
Yeah.
for other games I would mind, depending on what the iteration that it is. So anyway,
Yeah, it's
yeah,
kind of interesting because it's hard for us to imagine what would have been different, right?
hmm
Like could have been different, but like I'm sure that they threw a lot of stuff at the wall and just
yeah,
like, you know what? If it ain't broke, don't fix it kind of thing.
yeah.
Like, and you know what? Fair play to them. I think it was a banger. Now,
Just
did
oh,
you have a
sorry.
juicy take? Or
Not really. No.
okay.
Yeah, we won't go into any of mine. But I will have something for next week. But I did want to mention one thing because obviously when we started these juicy takes or started posting them, you got a lot of heat, right, for your story comment, right?
Yeah.
And more recently, Jeff Kaplan, who is he was like the vice president of Blizzard for like a while. He left the company a few years ago, and now he's kind of resurfaced, and he's got I don't know, there's like a survival kind of game he's working on that he's shown. But then he's also been doing some interviews, uh, about kind of what was going wrong with Blizzard. And the reason I bring up your story thing is because he came out and he's like beloved, Jeff Kaplan. Like
Mm-hmm.
I guess I don't really know all of Blizzard's history, but it seems like people that are like pure Blizzard fans love Jeff Kaplan. Correct me if I'm wrong, Juice Heads. I'm sorry if that's not the case, but um, and then there's a whole story where like the CFO of Blizzard brought him in and was like, if Overwatch doesn't make this much money, like we're gotta cut like 100 people on the team, like all this like crazy stuff. But
Mm-hmm.
he came out and he said in one of the videos, he was talking about some of his favorite games of all time. It was like Breath of the Wild. He brought up Red Dead Redemption 2. And then he was like, he said this pretty much verbatim. I might be summarizing a little bit, but um, there's not a lot of great games with not a lot of games with great stories. But and then he started talking about like some other games, and I was like, wow. So wait, people were okay that Jeff Kaplan said that, but because Tommy said it on the Fresh Juice podcast with a bunch of juicy takes, people
Well,
have a
you
problem with it.
know,
Because I feel like people haven't brought that out, of his interview and been like, what is he talking about? What about Undertale? What about, or whatever. And I'm
yeah.
just like, I don't know. I saw that. I immediately thought of your hot take, and I'm like, it's just, it's who's saying it. If you agree with this guy, Tommy, then you're doing something right. So I want to say thanks for holding your ground because it's a it's a good take in my opinion. Still,
I mean, I'm sure he just said it in a better way than I did, but like also it reminds me of that meme of like the woman working at a computer at an office and like some like sexy guy's like, hey, I like your skirt. She's like, thank you. And then like some other guy's like, oh, you look nice today. HR,
yeah, yeah,
HR.
yeah.
Just like I'm the one getting HR called on me.
Yeah,
But yeah. Um, yeah, you know what, Jeff? Let's get together. We'll talk. All right.
yeah, yeah.
So
We know you're listening.
yeah. All right, let's talk about some notable releases this week.
Let's do it.
Death with Dice came out, which, listen, very brave of a deck builder, dice builder to come out so soon after Slay the Spire, but it seems to be doing well. And this one looks cool. I think this game looks like a lot of fun. I've been seeing like even some TikToks about this one, and it's something that I have on my wish list. And maybe when I have the time, I'll probably check it out. Not a bad price either on this one. So I love the art style here as well. That's just like
Yeah.
so cool.
Yeah, this definitely looks cool. It's like only $6 right now too, 50% off. Which is
Oh, that's pretty
awesome.
great.
But I feel like there's been a lot of dice roguelites and none of
Mm-hmm.
them have like nailed it yet, you know?
Yeah.
So I wonder if this one can, because I feel like there is an opportunity, for there to be a really great one. This one does look really cool. And it seems also like simple enough where it's not too many things going on. So Yeah, pretty cool. I'll have to check this one out.
Yeah, dice are interesting because like I think the balancing on a dice game is going to be a lot easier, right? There's like six sides, and obviously you start introducing like other sided dice and stuff
Hmm.
like that. But I feel like it's a easier base to work with, right? Which is good. That's not a bad thing. And then you can kind of expand from there. I think what was the one that we played not too long ago? I did have some fun with it.
Was it Dice in a Dungeon?
We played that one.
Dice a Million? I'll just type Dice in on Steam. That should be a
I
new
don't know if
tag.
it
There's so
should be a
many
new.
of them.
Should be. Where the heck
Dice.
was it?
Slice and Dice? You played that, didn't
No,
you? No?
no, I didn't. Maybe on my phone I played that.
Dice Vaders? Is that it? Star Vader?
No, oh, I mean, I did like Dice Faders, but no, it
So
was.
many names.
I'm already forgetting. It didn't have dice in the name. I don't think. Man, I am drawing a blank. It should have been.
Pimp My Dice. Dice-A-Rama. Dicey Nicey. No,
All right, it
I'm just
doesn't
making up
matter.
titles at this point.
But anyway, yeah. Golly, I can't remember. It should be in my stuff, unless they removed it.
Was it good?
Yeah, yeah. Oh,
Okay.
die for the lich. Die for the
Ah,
lich. Yeah,
ah,
yeah, yeah. That was one that I reviewed, and I don't think. Yeah, it was like
yeah,
an alternating one, but yeah, I think there's some good ones out there. I think that there's a lot of opportunity here. But
yeah.
next is a game that's coming out called Skellis, which I think you had talked to me about last week, and I just
Yeah.
saw it pop up. This one kind of looks neat.
Yeah, this one caught my attention last week because the developer was posting on TikTok and just kind of like, explaining the game. And I don't know, this one, it seems like almost like a cozy, almost idle kind of game with a little Moonlighter twist where you're like running a shop and then you essentially send out people to do your adventures for you and you can kind of see them in a little window and see if they're successful with their battles. But yeah, I don't know, just kind of gave me like cozy Stardew Valley ish kind of vibes, but like with, you know, auto battling essentially in it. So yeah, I might have to check this one out. They do have a demo on Steam, comes out on the 17th. But yeah.
Yeah, the
Although I
most
will say
interesting.
I'm not a fan of the font choices here.
Yeah, I was gonna say the same thing.
Yeah, it's very it almost seems like it's not like when I first saw the trailer, I was like, this is just text they overlaid on it, but it's actually the text that's in the game, I think. So that just seems weird to me. But anyway, looks cool though.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of the font either. It feels like so out of place, but I understand that it can be tough to like actually create a font that makes sense when you have like these kind of pixelated worlds. But looks cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting. I love the name is awesome.
Yeah.
So I think that alone would be cool. And then this one, next one I saw, Fallen Tier: The Ascension is coming out in early access tomorrow. So yesterday, if you're listening to this on release,
Yeah.
Metroidvania looks to be like pretty intense. I mean, the art style is pretty cool. I think that they're like the review. I don't know if the reviews are like real, but it says the Elden Ring of Metroidvania in terms of map size. What? That's gotta be big.
That is, and maybe it's definitely more confusing, I'd say, because I always get lost in Metroidvanias. But this does look cool, though. I haven't heard about this. I feel like we're in not a golden age, but there's a lot of solid looking Metroidvanias that have come out this year and that are coming out. Like Akatori was one I mentioned before. There's Mio. Like there's a lot of really cool ones that seem well done. And I wonder if this is, you know, this is going to be ending up like I know there's a lot of Metroidvanias in general, but Survivor like ish, right? Where there's just like obviously there's Hollow Knight came out, a bit ago, but is this going to get to the point where it's like, oh, another hand drawn Metroidvania? Like, do we need another one of those? I don't know. I mean, I don't feel like that yet, but I'm like, maybe at some point there'll be, that conversation. But this one does look cool. Seems like it maybe is a little uh more story kind of focused. Seems like there's a lot of characters, and then it seems like they help you as well in battling. So that seems kind of interesting. Um, but
You know
yeah,
what it reminds me
Volunteer.
of? Like Brawlhalla.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
get that
like the
too.
art style.
Yeah,
So yeah,
look at
that's
that.
all I really saw in terms of upcoming releases or notable releases this week. Not a big week, but
Yeah.
you know, golly, we're gonna have so much to talk about after we get back from PAX. Hopefully, there's a lot of good stuff out
Oh,
there.
I thought you were like, hopefully we get back from PAX. Yeah, I hope
Yeah,
so.
hopefully we get back.
Hopefully,
Yeah,
hopefully.
I might
Yeah,
go into diabetic shock after having a cannoli from Mike's Pastries. But
yeah.
um, hey, what have we been playing this week?
What have we been playing? So I played obviously a little Moonlighter 2, I was mentioning. Great game still. I couldn't really tell if they made like some significant updates, to be honest, because I'm just kind of doing my own thing, but um it's yeah, still awesome. I also started playing, I got into this playtest for this game called Naquan Last Paradise. So this is like obviously right up my alley, but the reason I wanted to check this out is because I saw people saying this was like the Last of Us multiplayer, which they were supposed to have a standalone game for that. It ended up getting canceled a few years ago. And this, I played like one or two rounds of this. It's kind of like almost like a Arc Raiders like Extraction, but it's like got it's like zombies everywhere or whatever. This is clearly inspired by The Last of Us, just playing some of the gameplay. It's third person. I think it was a lot of fun. I invited our buddy Bags to it as well because I know he liked The Last of Us, so maybe he'll give it a shot. But I think there's some things that could be improved with it. But yeah, I would if you're. I know there might be some listeners out there that are into the Last of Us. Check out Naquan Last Paradise. It's from Nexon, who doesn't have the best reputation as a publisher, but they uh, it's not in English. I think it's maybe in Korean. And then but their subtitles are in English, and you don't really need like to listen too much, when you're in the actual matches. But it's very surprising how polished this seems already. So, yeah, I'm gonna keep trying it out. But I was playing a little bit of that, and then of course, Slay the Spire 2 is like the other thing I've been playing. That I don't think we need to talk about too much more. But I really have didn't have time for much else outside of that. I did download a few games, but just haven't gotten around to playing them yet. So, what about you? What's been on your list that you've been playing?
Um, Mostly Slay Spire. I've taken a dive back into Super Mario 64. Just kind of
Oh,
like, yeah.
where'd that come from? What are you playing that on?
The Switch too, because it's on the
Ah, nice.
N64 like emulator app thing. But yeah, I'm gonna download Ball X Pit on my phone to check out if I like it
Mm,
more there. And yeah, it's been kind of a slow week for gaming for me because it's just been kind of busy and just doing stuff after work and not really having the time, just spending more time with Lady Fresh. So hoping to game a little bit more this week because not as much like late stuff going on.
yeah,
But next week is very busy and we also go to PAX. So, I'm going to be playing the game that we're going to review next week a lot this week, hopefully. So,
yeah.
excited for that. Now, there is some news that you put out here. What it was the first article here, or not
Um,
even article.
yeah. So this was just, I don't know. I just wanted to bring this up because I thought it looked cool. Um, and it's a kind of a unique concept here as Twitter loads. But This solo indie dev is making a game where you clean old video game cartridges. Every cartridge is procedurally dirty. Peel tape, remove stickers, clean grime, no timer, no fail state. It's called Cozy Game Restoration. So I don't think this is. Oh, sorry, I don't know if you guys heard that sound. It's not my kind of game, but I definitely know that there's people that would enjoy this as kind of like a cozy, relaxing, almost like ASMR-y kind of experience. But I don't know. It just kind of looked interesting to me, and it's kind of taking we've seen a lot of games of like, oh, you're gonna clean up after you're a goblin cleaning up the whatever after like the hero goes through the dungeon. A lot of cleanup games, Power Wash Simulator,
Yeah.
and all that. So this is kind of in that realm as well. But yeah, just wanted to bring it up as kind of a funny idea, but pretty interesting. So there you go.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's going to be a lot of people that are going to love this. I mean, but there's people who do power washing simulator, right? Like,
Yeah, yeah,
this feels very close to that, and I could see like the collection aspect of it, right? Like, I don't know if that's what that was that they show in this video, but it looks like, once you clean one and like get it pristine, you kind of keep it in your collection, or like goes
yeah,
into like, so like that's fun to kind of like go out there and try to find like these all these like made up games, which is
yeah.
kind of fun. So uh yeah,
I
pretty neat,
also
pretty
like
neat.
I have to imagine this is accurate of how people actually do this, which is kind of
Oh
interesting to
yeah.
me. Like it's almost like if you were looking to get into this, maybe you start with this game to see like everything that's involved with like restoring these old game cartridges. But um, yeah, I kind of have been thinking of there's like a game for like setting up servers or something that's supposed to be accurate. I'm like, maybe I should buy that and see because I've always been interested in that. Maybe I should like play the game and see what's involved. And if it seems like way too much, I'm like, all right, I won't do that. But it's kind of funny. It's almost like there are these games now where people can like test if they want it to be a hobby of theirs, almost.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, so just brought that up. And then just something else I brought up as well in the news, which is a bigger piece of news that is indie game related, but this is so there's been a lot of, as I've learned, a lot of issues with the development of Subnautica 2, which like if you're a survival game fan, like Subnautica is one of the best ones out there. People are very excited for the second one, mostly I would say because there is co-op with it, which is exciting, which the first game didn't have. But as I kind of mentioned this in one of my TikTok videos, like Subnautica was like one of the games I mentioned that's gonna have a
Mhm.
sequel, and so many people were like, "Yeah, but the development," they kind of like clued me in of things that have been happening with it. So apparently, this is before this article, but um, Crafton is like the publisher for Subnautica, and they essentially went in and like fired the CEO, I believe. And then there was a huge this is like the main thing. There was like a huge incentive for I think Craft On bought the developer for $500 million up front. But then there was a huge clause. This was back in 2021. There was a huge clause that they would get 250 million more dollars if they hit certain revenue targets. And what essentially I believe happened was that the Craft On like ended up coming out and saying that the developers abandoned the project. And so they essentially made it so like it was void. They wouldn't end up getting that $250 million more, which would have gave bonuses to the whole team and all that sort of stuff. So people have been like against Subnautica 2 because of this, because they're like, we don't want to support this new publisher. The founders of the game immediately like sued them, and there was a bunch of stuff going on. That was like mostly last year. But now there's a new article that a judge ordered that they rehire that CEO. His name's Ted Gill, I believe, and give him full control over the early access Steam launch. And they also reinstated that bonus, that $250 million more
Oh.
for like September if they hit the targets by like September of this year. So it's like a huge win for Subnautica 2 and for all the fans and everything. I don't know if there's more to it. Maybe there's some stuff I'm missing, but essentially, yeah, they had to go to court for this. I forget exactly why they like voided that original kind of bonus that they were supposed to get. What they said was the issue, other than them abandoning the game. But uh, yeah, so big news for them. I was very happy to see this. I was going to play the game probably anyway, but it just feels good to know that like there's a little justice kind of in the world. So yeah, I just wanted to bring that up as kind of a bigger, kind of indie game related story.
Big justice.
Big justice, yeah.
No, this is pretty cool. I think that at this point, it's a nice little publicity boost too. That I could
Yeah.
see that kind of working out for everybody and kind of hitting that revenue goal for the bonus. And everybody, everybody's happy. What's good for the goose is good for the gander. And this is a game that I kind of always wanted to get into, at least the first one. And maybe depending on how this second one is, I think that maybe this is kind of reminding me about this series, because
Yeah.
I like sea life and aquatic life, so it always kind of looked cool to me. I just never took the jump. So
Yeah.
pretty cool story.
It's definitely one of like the best survival games to get like lost in. And they even probably have like a creative, where you can just like go around and explore things, but there's just the first game is really amazing. And it's something where like every time I'm in another game and I go underwater, I'm like, oh, I hope it's somewhat like Subnautica down here, but it never is. But yeah, so hopefully the second one ends up, doing well. But yeah, it seems like they or that judge did a lot for the fans. So let's see if they can pull it off. I guess by the end of the year. I don't know. I don't know when their release date was, or maybe it got pushed back. But yeah, we'll see. So pretty cool stuff. Pretty cool stuff.
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
Pretty cool stuff. Yeah, but next week we're going to be reviewing Grind Survivors, which just came out today as of us recording. Survivor like, let's see if they can actually, separate themselves from the pack. We'll see. A couple of reviews look all right so far, but you know what? We've hated games that people love.
Yeah.
We've also liked games that people don't love. So we'll be doing that next week. We do have some listener questions. These come from the Fresh Juice Discord, or just people I know in my life, pretty much. But first one comes from Bags, who asks, what is a drink or snack that has been discontinued that you wish you could still have?
Well, the first thing that pops in my head, it's not really like a snack or a drink, but it's the Altoids, like Clementine or whatever, which
Oh, yeah.
I still think you can buy like off-brand ones,
I think
but
I have
those are
some
really
right here.
good. Like the orange or the Clementine, whatever that is. Oh,
The
there
retro
they go.
sours.
There it
Yeah,
is.
they're
Yeah.
good.
How did you get those? But as far as a drink or a snack that's been discontinued, I'm trying to think of like something that made an impact on me. I don't know what pops in your head. You got anything you can think of?
It's kind of hard to remember what exactly has been discontinued, but the the I'm guessing so. Altoid sours.
I'm looking up some stuff here.
Yeah, I'm looking up too.
Oh, the Butterfinger BBs. I just saw someone say that came up, but honestly, here's one that's not really a snack, but the way Pizza Hut pan pizzas used to be, which apparently I was looking into this because I just fell down a rabbit hole, but Pizza Hut used to like actually make their pizzas and use like actual ingredients, but now they got bought out by like this company called Yum Brands, I think, where now it's just like all frozen, and it's like that's why like it'll
Mm.
never be like how it used to be. But yeah, I was like, I don't know, looking at some Pizza Hut stuff. I was like, man, you know what? I would kill to go back to like a 90s, early 2000s Pizza Hut, and just have that
Mm.
experience with like my baseball team again, just
Oh
for a
yeah,
night.
with the red cup that
Yeah.
it's like hard
Yeah.
plastic.
And that
Oh
lamp,
yeah.
that Pizza Hut like chandelier lamp thing. Yeah. Good stuff.
um, Off the top of my head, I think like I just saw kudos like granola bars. You said the
Oh,
M&M ones; those are nice. Like had
yeah.
the mini M&Ms on there. You know, they're so I think I even recommended them at one point, but Doritos has this late night series, and I think the only one I ever really see now is the late night taco, but I
Yeah.
haven't seen the late night burger. That one was so good, but I think it was a little like too oniony for most people, but
Oh,
I
okay.
thought it was delicious. So stuff like that probably.
Yeah. Also a Choco Taco.
Oh yeah,
Those are
Choco
good. I
Taco.
think those are gone. And one of my favorite beers has
First cut.
yeah. It's still around, but so that's good. But
Limited, limited
limited,
quality
yeah.
quantities, not quality. It's unlimited quality,
Yeah.
limited quantity. The next question comes from CB67, who asks, "Describe indie games in 2 words."
Indie games. Tom?
Right. Chris Paul and Steve Nash must see TV.
Did you make that up? Is CB Charles
Yeah.
Barkley? Okay. Oh my God, that's amazing. That's not
Oh
two
man.
words. You say 2 words.
Steve and Nash, or Paul and Nash.
Nash and
Oh man.
Paul. That's 3 words. Oh man, that's great. Because I was thinking, I was like, who is CB67? Like, I don't know. And I was like, must be someone in
Oh.
Tommy's life. Maybe he knows Charles Barkley, That's great. Oh man.
Um, Arcarp does ask, which video game character would you want as a roommate?
As a roommate. Hmm. Oh man. Because you don't want someone that's like gonna be a pain in the ass. I was trying to think like who's someone that like cooks really well.
The
Um,
overcooked people, maybe?
yeah, I was thinking them. Uh, maybe you don't want anyone that's like gonna be too loud or whatever. Or you could do something that's you know, uh, like Sonic or something like that. You'd be like, hey, can you go get me this? Just like back in like a second. But I also feel like his voice would annoy me at a certain point. So, I don't know. What are you thinking? Probably someone that's like a person, more of a person. you know, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like not
Yeah.
like
Well,
Pikachu or something. I'm like, I don't want to live with Pikachu.
well, my wife asked this question, so I'll just be like Bayonetta, or no I'm kidding.
Lara
No,
Croft.
I,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
maybe. I don't know.
Um, uh, I don't know, like Toad, probably.
Yeah,
Like,
you wouldn't just find
yeah.
yourself strangling him in the tub after he's just going. Shut up. Or you just like really hungry one night and you're just like,
It was good. Mushroom pizza. Yeah, I don't know. Somebody helpful, I think.
yeah.
Maybe uh like the flood from Super Mario Sunshine kind of had its own personality. That would
Oh,
be cool to have as roommate because you'd be like, all right, let's go spray things
yeah.
for for work, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah. It's not a bad idea. Like a helpful, obedient character. I was thinking of like the Chows from Sonic for some reason, but that would probably
Oh
annoy
yeah.
me. That would be something to take care of.
Yeah.
But um, yeah, I don't know. It's a good question. It's a good question. Yeah.
You gotta pick like the chillest Animal Crossing villager, probably.
Yeah, right. Like
Yeah.
Wade.
Yeah.
is my favorite. Yeah.
I always liked Ribbit, the
Yeah.
robot frog.
Yeah.
Um, but hey, good question, good episode. But we do have to go to the rec room real quick. First, I will be recommending a TV show called Handcuffed. We've been watching it. It's a new show. I think it's British. I know it's British. I think it's BBC, but
Mm.
we get it on some box subscription that we might have, or it's illegally downloaded. Not sure, but the whole point, it's like a reality show where all these pairs of people are handcuffed, right?
Yeah.
And they have to be the last one standing, basically the last one that's like um, still in the handcuffs at the end, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
anytime you could say, unlock me. But once you're unlocked, you lose, right? And the winners split 100,000 pounds. And
Do they
they
know each other?
no, they
Oh, okay.
purposely pick people that are the opposite.
Oh, okay.
So it's it's pretty interesting to see how some of these people like interact. Like there is a pair where like one is an alpha male kind of gym rat, the other, and he's paired with like you know like really sexually free kind of like like homosexual woman, and he's like short circuit. He's like, I don't
Oh
even
my
know what's
god.
going on here.
Yeah.
And she's like, I don't like anything what this guy's saying. And there it's good TV. It seems like hell. I don't think I'd be able to do it, but
Yeah.
because I have to like sleep next to each other and shower next to each other, like while one person has like is sitting in the bathroom and
Oh
letting
my
them.
god. So wait, what
Yeah,
if one of them's got to take a dump?
they're allowed
Like,
to get a longer chain
oh, okay,
for the
okay,
for the number twos. So
okay. Good, good, good.
yeah. It's crazy. It's a crazy thing. But like there's like one couple that's like an older, really wealthy guy, and then like another, and like he's with a younger woman who's like working like three jobs to just like survive, and like they both have to like expose each other to their lives. Like
Mm.
they spend like one night at their place and then the other night at the other place, and like
Oh, so it's not
you
just
know
like these like weird challenges of you know, like obstacle course or whatever.
no,
Oh,
they're just
okay.
living. Yeah,
Wow. Okay.
it's good TV. It's good
Yeah.
TV.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Cool. Cool. Yeah. Well, we're still watching through the trailers. We're in season 3,
oh,
so
nice.
we'll have to
Hell yeah.
we'll catch up. But I am
Oh, you're on season
recommending
3.
season 3. Yes,
That
uh
one is
with
interesting. Dylan
Rob.
Efron, Boston Rob.
Yeah, Boston Rob. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, we'll see what happens there. Um. Anyway, but yeah, my rec room is Dick's. Dick's Sporting Goods. All right, and I know you guys might have thought I was talking about something else, but I'm not. Two things about Dick's specifically that is pretty cool. One is so the mall we were at like has Dick's that's part of the mall. It's like a multi-floor one, which is cool. I've been into like the Dick's stores before, and I feel like there's never like a lot of people, but this one it's just good business. I was like, wow, I kind of thought Dick's was going downhill. It's going back uphill. It's pretty cool. But what I think is really cool, and if you guys have one near you, because I had no idea this existed, is that part of the Dick's is like an outdoor area with like a huge, it almost looks like a prison when you're driving up to it. I was like, what is this? And it's got this huge like fence around it, and you can just they call it the field. You can just go and like rent out, I guess, or sign up for like, hey, we're gonna go play basketball while you're hanging at the mall, or you're gonna go play pickleball or whatever. And I don't know, I just thought it was pretty cool because I'm like, if that was there when I was going to the mall more frequently or whatever, like as a kid, we would have totally been like, let's hit up the food court and we're gonna go play some basketball. Then we're gonna go do, all these other things. I don't know, just it was cool. So I'm recommending check out if there's any Dick's Sporting Goods near you. But the real recommendation here is for anyone that like uses like a workout app or whatever. I saw this online and I was like, this is awesome. And people were hyping it up. The Dick's Sporting Goods app, you can connect it to like your Fit app or whatever. And when you work out and when you do things, you'll get points at Dick's. And then you
Oh,
can
that's
get free
cool.
shit at Dick's Sporting Goods. And I'm like, why? I feel like obviously that's perfect for them because that's what they're about. But people were like, this is what businesses should be doing, right? If like 'cause it
Yeah,
encourages you to be healthy and
brilliant.
work out, and then you get some free stuff from it, like actually like quality, I guess, stuff. But yeah, I just wanted to shout that out for anyone who I downloaded it, I connected it, to mine because I'm like, hey, if I'm gonna forget about it now, and then
Mm-hmm.
maybe in a while I'll check and be like, wow, I got some points, and I can get a free, I don't know, golf glove, something,
Yeah,
probably
why
not anything
not?
expensive, but hey, it's free. So, yeah, shout out to Dick's. And it's also
Shout out
just
to
fun to
Dick's.
say. And I also just need
Yeah.
to say one other thing is that this is related to Dick's. It's just funny. Years ago, when I was in elementary school, we played. Oh, it's I just realized I said it's related to dicks, and I just went back to elementary school. So that's has nothing to do with it. I was fine. But in our gym class, we'd play dodgeball, and they'd be like
Okay.
these like foam kind of balls, right? And
Yeah.
our gym teacher called them, shout out Mr. McGrath, called them rhino balls because I guess there's like a rhino that's on it, but that wasn't actually the name of the company. So I remember I went home and I told my mom because I don't know, I was like, oh, like it'd be cool to have those and play like at home with them or whatever with like, some friends. And then she just happened to be like at like Dick's the next day or whenever. And she just comes home after that and she's like, Matt, I I went up to the salesperson there and I was like, do you have rhino balls? And the guy had no idea what I was talking about. And I was like, oh, that must not be the actual name. We like looked it up after. But that's happened multiple times with my mom with certain things. But we were just laughing about that. And that is a recommendation to just, you know, mess with your parents out there. All right.
Yeah.
They need to, yeah, they're working all the time. They need a little bit of levity in their life. So, ask them to do things like that for you and you'll get good stories. But anyway, there we go. I just got reminded of that. So
Dicks and Rhino balls,
there
folks.
it
You
is.
heard it here
Handcuffed them.
first.
Yep.
Handcuffed them. Yeah. Geez, what a banger of an ep. You can all find me on mostly Blue Sky, Fresh Buds Pod. I have another podcast called Fresh Buds, having my friend Markland come on the show this week, who just won a tournament over the weekend. Pretty excited to chat with him. He's a specialist on a certain hero named Bolton. And you can find us on all socials at Fresh Juice Pod. Matthew, where can people find you?
Michael Bolton? Is that your real name? Um,
All of them. They're all
um,
my favorite. It's hard to pick.
uh, yeah, if you want to find me at Matty Gorm on all the socials, I actually I'm posting more survival games and stuff like that on my YouTube. And someone actually made a great comment where I was playing this game, Froggy Hates Snow, and they were like, "Hey, great video, but like, there's a like for the people that are light sensitive, there's like a dark mode setting in the settings." I was like, "Wow, I never even thought about that for games." Trying to turn that on. So if you see future videos of me playing that game, it'll be on dark mode on the Matty Gorm channel. So check it out. Boom.
Sweet. And with that, it's time to be juiced.